Andrew McCart, iFLTV. Delighted to be joined by my good friend, Sonny Edwards. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm still celebrating our big victory on away soil.
Which victory was that? Remind me.
Oh no, you was there kicking off in the crowd and in the backstage.
No.
You was there. You remember it? I can't lie. Do you know what? Yeah, bear in mind, I know I've got a lot of friends in a lot of places. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I really did feel it like I went to Scotland, but then there was like a split at some point in the night, probably just after the round 12 finished and just as the decision got announced. It was like a split, a change. And certain people that I've known for years, to the point of I'd say I've known pretty much all my boxing life, they walked out of the venue, blanked me, past me at 2 attempts I tried to speak to them.
I shook your hand, I came over to you.
Not you.
All right, okay.
I'm talking bigger fish than you.
Right,
People
okay.
that I've known
bigger than me. I am a big fish in
for a
Scotland.
long period of time. But
Scottish.
All I'm saying is that defeat must have hit some people in a place that they, one, weren't expecting, and two, yeah, didn't like at all.
Wait, can I just, that little thing that you talked about with me, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't kicking off, man.
I wasn't there for witness.
The young kid, my fighter Fred was there, because the kid actually asked for a photo with me as well, said he watched iFLTV. So it wasn't as bad as what it was.
It was the crack after. He just said you was, that's a robbery, and was like...
Never said that. That never came out of my mouth, Sonny. Never came out of my... I was gutted for my...
If you watch that fight and think it was a robbery, you don't know boxing. Now, if you watch it and think, Matty could have won, then I
thought it was closer than that 116-112. That's my grievance.
But I don't think it was as close as 115-114 twice, so there we go.
But again, I wouldn't have mind if it went... Like I said, I
yeah, but you went off because you're Scottish.
Well, obviously I've got that bias, and you've got that bias as well, so...
Oh no, I'm neutral, I'm Switzerland.
You're never neutral, son.
I'm Switzerland.
You're never neutral. Listen, before we talk about anything, I want to talk about you. I want to talk about you and Parson's show. I mean, that little clip that you showed me in Scotland, they just showed it live on the Zone as well. What's it called? Little talk, small talk?
Small talk.
Small talk.
Small talk. Big boxing, small talk.
Well, run it by me. What's the concept behind it?
What's the concept?
You and Parsons just talking shit.
I don't know what they've put all out, because it's the first time I've been asked a conversation about it. So, no, really something to run along alongside the actual UK pro shows for Matchroom. When the show finishes, a live, small kind of intimate after show, with some guests, with an audience, with some questions in, some content pre-made, just kind of
you got free reign to be Sonny.
And I can't lie, I've said, look, most of my best material will come out when I'm making a grey area joke. And if I can't make them, then I'm not the right person for the job. And the reason why it's big on small talk and taking the piss out of myself and ourselves is because if I can publicly take the piss out of myself, I can publicly take the piss out of all of you lot, and you can't take it serious.
That's I love it, man. Like, take the piss out of whoever you want, Sonny.
I've got targets, Andy. I've got a list. I've got a hit list right now. There's about 4,000 or 5,000 GB with recently added. There's a few different people for different reasons, but I've got a hit list. I can't wait. And I wanted to tell you who they are.
But you have to tune in. Small talk. This is
small talk.
Right. What's like working with Parsons? I feel like he's getting a wee bit of a ego about him.
Yeah.
Did you get that as well?
I was thinking the same. Yeah. It's like, sometimes you just have to put it back in its cage, and I think that's why I was brought on as the second host, to make sure that he's very humble, because the school that Charlie Parsons learned out of boxing, I taught at. You know what I mean? Just before he thinks of something, I've just got back from doing it. That's the working relationship right now. So he's a good lad, though.
He's
Charlie.
a good lad.
I would have preferred if it was Oscar Bevis doing the other side of my show, but we have Charlie Parsons.
I'm too big for small talk. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's a stretch. Anything under 5'8", 5'9",
I'm 5'9".
That's maybe with shoes on with a bubble.
Maybe.
Well,
I'm getting small as I'm getting older.
Maybe.
Getting small as I'm getting older. Sonny, talk to me about this.
It's all those bad robbery shouts keep bringing you down a little inch.
It's hard. It's hard being Scottish. It's hard being a Scottish rugby fan, football fan, boxing fan. We're just
not very good at anything.
No, we invented it all, nearly. I'll go. Let me clip that out, because next time you come to Scotland,
No. I love Scotland, but I'm English. So I understand that I'll always be patriotic to England, just like you will be Scotland.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I like Scotland really, and I like Wales as well. I think we are all
Ireland.
And Ireland, of course. And I think we're all a union of the same, but different. We have our different histories, but right now it's all assimilated. We're all the same, really. The whole of Europe is. Let's be real. No matter if you go to London, no matter if you go to Glasgow, if you go to Amsterdam or Berlin, every city centre looks the same.
Yep. 100%.
You know what I mean? There'll be a couple of demonstrations in the city centre. You know, there'll be the same shops. There'll be a Primark. There'll be a Claire's opposite. Starbucks, Costa, Starbucks. Like, everywhere's the same. Europe's been colonised.
Yeah, there you go. Well put, Sonny. Can we talk some boxing then? Jack Catterall honoured Barboza. I mean, you're a boxing man. You know the sport very well. Talk to me about that fight.
I've massively favoured Jack. Massively. I think Sean McComb showed just how to make Barboza look very average, below average even. And at that similar-ish style of maintaining range and picking your moments, I think Jack's far, more advanced over 12 rounds than Sean McComb has showed so far. I know Sean McComb is a terrific, talented boxer. He hadn't really shown it before that fight. Barboza was his big performance, and he didn't get the decision that we thought he deserved. But Jack is solidified. He's very consistent. He boxes on his terms, his pace. He finds his shots. And look, I've seen him box so many times, and I've never remotely looked like him losing a fight, even the one that he did get robbed in by your mate.
Small talk.
Big boxing, small talk. Just little man syndrome all over the place.
I've got that as well because I'm a small man myself.
See, a minute ago you were trying to give... You get an inch on me and you think, I'm tall now.
I'm 4 inches on you.
I don't know, it don't look like that from this angle. It don't. Every time you go up on your tiptoes a bit more.
Yeah. Nobody can see me behind the camera. They don't know how tall I am. Great fights on the undercard as well. We've got like McCormack and Davis Jr. We've got Bellotti and Gomez. We've got Barrett and Jazza Dickens. For you though, Sonny, which is the pick of the bunch? Which is the pick of the bunch?
There's a couple really.
I've just done a Jamie Ward there.
There's a couple really. I do like the Pat Robbie Davies. I think Robbie Davies has been a tough competitor. We've seen that. Maybe we've seen his sort of level previous before, but Pat for me is one of those fighters that could genuinely go all the way and should, if anything. Any sort of deviation from him going all the way to world title and winning would be a big shock to me, if I'm honest. I think he's generally that good and can be that good. But I think this is an interesting fight. I also like the Zelfa Barrett, Jazza Dickens. A kind of fight that came out of nowhere, which it should have been talked about and thought about maybe sooner, but I know Jazza came up weight and now has walked into his weight. But look, Liverpool versus Manchester in Manchester. Zelfa's, still trying to re-get that world title reign, and I don't know where Jazza is about in his career, but he's in the twilight zone, you would have to think, and a big win here will give him another big resurgence in his career. Probably be one of his biggest wins to date as well, getting a win over Zelfa. So, and Zelfa would struggle. We should think about world level anytime soon if he does lose to Jazza. So it's really a kind of important fight for both of them at this stage of the career, definitely.
Bellotti and Gomez, you excited about that one?
Yeah, I mean, I was frustrated it didn't happen the first time. I've known Bellotti for years.
What did you make of that, though? Going into the changing room?
I think that what probably happened is Gomez probably has to take a bit off to make the weight, being so big for the weight. And even though he refueled and rehydrated, he probably just, maybe easily his lower immune system, caught an illness. And if you're in a venue and don't feel genuinely strong inside, then you shouldn't fight. The boxing ring is too dangerous, and you just made weight. You have all these things. You've got small gloves, and you've got potentially 12-round fights. It's not a safe place if you're not 100%. And okay, frustrating it didn't happen, but look, we're back here now. It's a probably bigger fight than it even was the first time round, and yeah, looking forward to that as well. Your
mate Dalton Smith, WBC mandatory now. He has, I think maybe by the end of this year, he'll face the winner. But there might be a voluntary in there somewhere between Puello and is it Sandor Martin?
Yeah.
Dalton Smith getting a shot, looks like.
Yeah, and I can't lie. I don't know Puello too much, and I know he's a good fighter, but I do quite rate Sandor Martin. He's kind of like a Jack Catterall. He boxes on his terms, he makes you come to him, and he beats you in the middle.
Small talk.
And he beats you to the punch, you know what I mean? So I generally think it's interesting. I definitely think it's an interesting fight. But I kind of favour Sandor Martin. He had that really good win. It's escaped me the name of him, and he just had him chasing him the whole time, and he outboxed him.
They argued that he beat Teofimo as well, Sandor Martin.
Yeah. And I thought that was a close fight as well. And stylistically, I think you give someone that comes forward to Dalton, he not only makes him miss and outscores him, he hurts him as well. So I think Sandor Martin will probably be more like the awkwarder, but at the same time, Dalton's he's very patient, and he doesn't give too much opportunity for them to land easy on him. So, yeah, I think this year, as long as those fights go through at the right time, I think Britain will have a new world champion, and Chef will have a new world champion in Dalton Smith. I really do. I think out of the names that are there, I think he beats both.
Definitely, I agree, Sonny. Sonny, you are now a manager, a management company set up, it looks like I've seen on Instagram, and what can we expect from you in that sense? I mean, we know that you've got the gift of the gab, you can talk yourself into a fight, you can talk your fighters into a fight, but what can you give to the fighters that you've got under your books? What do you bring that's different to every other manager?
I've got a boxer's heart.
Good answer, that was smart. That was a clever answer.
And most people that manage don't. And it doesn't, I'm not saying you haven't got a good heart, it's just not a boxer's one. I mean, when any boxer talks to me about anything in their boxing career from A to Z, I'm going to know how it feels because I've been there, and I only surround myself really with boxing and boxers and boxing, you know, events. I don't really do anything else. I'm here, look, I'm at every show. I had 3 fights, 3 cities, 3 days last week. Scotland, when I seen you, was in the middle. I was in Essex a day after, and I was in Sheffield the day before, Manchester the day before that even. I've got the effort, and I don't want to do anything else. I want to keep connecting good people, good fighters with great opportunities, and usually that's all it is, having someone beating your drum and fighting your corner, and, you know, also knowing what things might look like before you get there as well, to start, you know, trying to guide it, you know, at the right pace as possible, and make sure you've learned the lessons before you get there. Like, I don't need hype jobs. I like matching my fighters with some sort of test every single time. Now, you don't get a 3-0 fighter fighting someone that's as good as a world champion. No, but you might get the really fit kid you're fighting. You might get the really awkward one. Then the quite heavy-handed one. Then the one that might foul a little bit. Then the southpaw. And then with them sort of fights, and you're building up and going through and you're picking up the rounds, you've learned the lessons. You might have got a cut. You might have got put down once or twice. It's like,
adversity.
It doesn't have to be perfect to be perfect. You have to get the lessons. And every time you cheat yourself by getting an easy fight that you just one round knockout, you don't learn anything from it. So for me, really, it's about building them up properly, building them up how, like, to the level they really are, and then making sure when they get to the level that we think they're going to be at, making sure they're ready for when they get there.
Sonny, I've got a couple of fighters I'm turning pro. With that answer, I might need to give you a call.
Yeah, give me a call, man.
That was probably the best answer I've ever had. And
that's the boxer's heart.
I've got a boxer's heart. That killed it. Let me put this to you, man. You are a manager now. Now, I want to go the AJ route, because AJ is right now at this stage of his career where people are saying don't fight Mark BAKOLE, but that's the fight. And then he wants Daniel Dubois, but he might lose against Parker. So if you were managing Anthony Joshua right now and he was to fight in the summertime, who would you go for?
If AJ still wants to fight, like, it's hard, because when AJ is like, I don't know his finances, but you could only imagine. You could only imagine that he's not doing it because he has to. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So he's probably going to want the biggest fights and the best fights. It's the only reason why he's still here, the biggest events probably, and that moment of just before you get the curtains, there's 90,000 people there for you. And, you know, whilst you've got Conor Benn and Chris Eubank doing it in the UK, and it's going to be probably sold out and massive, that's probably what he's going to want, really. Something UK, something 90,000, something, you know, massive again. And now, okay, look, it's not going to be Usyk, let's face it. It probably won't even be Dubois, let's face it. Without Fury, he's retired. Probably might come back, probably won't, who knows. And it probably won't even be Fury because of the maths. Chisora, they train for the same gym. I don't think they'd ever fight each other. Both Finchley boys. Wilder is the only one for me, really. Wilder. What you really want is a name we haven't seen him in against before, and he's also a big name. And there's not all too many left, because let's face it, AJ's gone for all of them, really. He only needs to fight, Wilder and Fury, and then he's pretty much done it all. But would I want to see, like, you know, him versus the winner of, what is it?
Joyce Dillian White?
Joyce Dillian White? Probably not. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm trying to think about where I'd like to see him.
Isn't it?
But he's a superstar, so he can fight anyone, man.
Definitely.
He can fight anyone, man. Fight fucking...
You?
No, I wouldn't fight AJ. Actually, no, to be fair, for the amount I'd get paid, I would fight AJ.
Yeah. You'd be hard to hit because you're too wiry.
I would fight AJ.
Quick.
Small talk would be cancelled after one episode.
Hire me. One final one. Did you see the Keyshawn Davis incident over this last week? Did you see that? Belichick? Did you see it?
Nah, I saw when he was posting that video of him looking out the ring and shaking his head. That's the only thing I've seen.
Oh, it was a racist gesture apparently made, but it's kind of an odd one. Nobody knows who put it there. And Keyshawn Davis got sent a bunch of bananas and a watermelon to his room, and he believes it was Team Belichick, but Alex Krasik said it wasn't, and Eddie said that he knows Alex Krasik. That's something that he would not do. So it's kind of like a funny one right now. I just wanted to get your opinion, but obviously you didn't know about it.
That's the first I heard of it, and look, this isn't the first time that we see some, I guess, dark arts tactics around boxing. It probably won't be the last. And look, you just see the stuff with Sandy Ryan and Michaela Mayer. That was all pre-planned. They were sending threatening messages before, exposing messages before. They were then throwing stuff on the fight day, like getting someone waiting out. So some people do it. I don't know the situation. I don't even know the fighter that you're saying did it.
Dennis Belichick, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I do, but you know what I mean. I don't know him. I don't know him. And like I wouldn't want to make a comment on it if that was done by someone. There's no room for it in this day and age. And you know what's crazy? Yeah. Do you know that whole bananas? I guess the correlation is monkeys. Yeah. Caucasians are closer to monkeys than any other race of human on the earth. White people.
And
we come from the mountains. We come from the Neanderthals. Like, so anytime you see white people doing the whole monkey, they're ridiculous, because really we are the monkeys. We are. Which I know it sounds a bit of a crazy thing to even get on this conversation, but we are the closest things to the primate out of humans. We are the closest evolution of. So that's why it's mad to me. But like I said, I don't know any of it. I actually hadn't heard of it.
Just in case this comes up in small talk, that's why I'm giving you the little heads up.
Maybe,
I'm giving you some prep.
Yeah, give me some prep.
I'm giving in case this comes up in small talk. But you know what? I spoke to that guy from IFLTV.
Yeah,
I don't like getting name dropped.
But it might be fake news. I might just be.
It's fake news. I'm just setting you up for a fall there.
It might be fake news.
Cancelled.
Get cancelled on the
give me a
first
plug.
episode.
Plug your management company. Plug your small talk. Let's go.
Oh, I've got so much to talk about. Real Fighters Only. We work for Real Fighters Only. We create real fights only. We're real friends only, and we do everything that real friends do. We travel up and down the country to make sure we're there ringside and then backstage, and then we make sure that we're supporting our fighters outside of the ring and making sure that they find the transition into amateurs as pros as seamless as possible. Try and get some support and help around them as well to make it not have to work or do anything outside, because how are you going to focus on being a fighter if you've got to worry about working to survive? And really then trying to never under promise, over deliver. Never make a certainties of what I can do and what we can do. But, we've got a good proven track record that has passed before my career even. And, I've got a great team around me that helped steer my whole career. And I'm using that same network and team to steer the careers of other fighters. And I think we're in a great place right now, in a lot of very exciting conversations, some big fights getting talked about as well. And, I think we had the official launching, the hard launch, I guess. But I've been managing for about 2.5 years now. Thomas Asomba was my first fighter. That was back in 2021, 2022, and the ball's just been rolling ever since then. I've got a few fighters now, mostly my friends that I'm working with, and some few new signings that I've made and looking to promote and push more. But on the fighters front, it's like that's just something I'm doing out of passion, of enjoyment. It's like I feel like all of my know-how and experience, that is the best place for it to get channeled and make the most difference at the same time. Like, I can't commit to being a full-time trainer just yet. Or nor do I want to right yet, if I'm being perfectly honest, after just spending all my life in the gym. But that's probably the future step to go into that. You want to be a trainer? That's interesting. Yeah, it's probably where I'm best. I've always said that I'll be a better trainer than I was a fighter, 100%. I read boxing very well. I live what's going on right now, especially for coaching purposes, is my best. Give me one side to watch a fight, and then give advice to one side to take away their danger, to exaggerate your success, to think about discipline. Like, that is my bread and butter. Coaching, doing corners, probably the reason why Brandon Dayard,
I knew that was coming.
Just the unanimous decision, the life out.
Get a rematch, let's go.
Well, do you know what? Like I said, there was a conversation that we was open to have. If they wanted to pull it on a Josh Taylor card, they said there's no interest in Matty being on the card. So
Matty and Josh are from the same gym.
Exactly, but I think the card's full. I don't think they can put that fight now. I'm not sure, but that was the first conversation. But apart from that, we've already got some things that we're looking at, and Brandon deserves big events and platforms, and that's what we're chasing.
You never know what happens. You know yourself, boxing changes every day, so there might be a pull-out, there might be an injury, there might be something, I don't know. So fingers crossed. Listen, Sonny, I am Thankful for your time as always. You didn't rip me too much. You promised me.
Nah, I ripped you off camera more.
Okay, I'll take that off camera. Is good. But listen, I appreciate your time.
You
as
said
always,
your
brother.
apologies and we squashed
Yeah,
it.
you know me. You know me, brother.
You said that Brandon definitely won it, and we left it there.
We'll leave it there, Sonny. Thank you so much, man.
Go on, Andy.
Listen, I've got your number, man. I'll speak to you about some fighters.
Real fighters only. Real fighters only, though.
Real fighters only,
Don't be
brother.
bringing no
Listen,
black
I told you
fighters.
about
Real
Fred.
fighters.
I told you about Fred, man. Listen, right, Sonny. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Go on, Andy.